Welcome back to Lepodcast episode 25. As always, you're here with Hoop, Saney, and the infamous ZZ Huncho. Man, it's a good time to be alive. The New York Knicks have a better regular season record than the Warriors, the Lakers, the Brooklyn Nets, the Miami Heat, and the Philadelphia 76ers. That is remarkable. Stupendous. Marvelous. I know the Thunder are cooking up too. They got better records than all those teams, sitting at 4-5. Hey man, I've never been happier to be 4-5. Unfortunately, we do have a Warriors fan in the room. Love to hear his thoughts on the incapabilities.
It's all good, man.
Of Golden State.
It's all good. I love this part of the season. This is that part of the season where everybody can just sit around and think that their team is going to do something because of certain records after the first 3 weeks. But it's great to see Knicks fans still in denial, probably thinking that they
I love
Brooklyn.
having hope.
I know. Hope is an incredible thing, but me being chill and understanding the concept of how great the Warriors are and how this ain't nothing more than just a shooting slump with some terrible defense, in about 2 weeks or so, Knicks fans all across the world will be kicking themselves in the nuts trying to not cry about how terrible their organization is. And Saney's going to go back to just being one of the best OKC fans I know. Just straight down to earth. Understand.
Hey, this is exactly why that I was like, I fully agree signing with Basketball Forever.
Last jumper, your last game.
MVP.
Saney has
Now,
influence
if you're a
on
Spotify
the Instagram
listener,
page.
So if you're a Spotify listener, I'm sure you're wondering, who are they chanting MVP for? There's only one MVP candidate in the league, and it's Russell Westbrook. Well, of course, the video was of Russell Westbrook shooting a free throw, getting those MVP chants. I've been showing this figure since he was shooting 1 for 10 in a game, and you guys were making fun of me for buying this. Alex, you came on the episode, you said, why do you have a Russell Westbrook figure in a Lakers jersey? This is exactly why I got a Russell Westbrook figure in a Lakers jersey. Exactly why. I knew this. I called this from day one. This would happen. This would happen.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Saney called it here first. Russell Westbrook will receive MVP chants and still lose the damn game. Them MVP chants don't mean nothing unless they win.
Go look at LeBron James shooting percentage and go look at Anthony Davis
Yes. Russ deserves game ball. Russ deserves game ball for that loss.
Yep.
And LeBron and AD deserve to be ridiculed in the media. Basketball forever. I need to see some LeChoker, LeBrick, A day-to-day. I need to see all of that.
Hey, what a time to be alive.
I just want to say, going back to the Warriors, the shooting slump is something that I could see these guys getting out of. The defense, on the other hand, is much different because while Looney's still there and he's, a decent anchor, Draymond is not the same. I don't think that he can bounce back to the effect of someone like Klay Thompson, who's having a shooting slump and just poor shots. You know what he has? He has the shot selection of a Dude Perfect trick shotter, like Ty from Dude Perfect. He's one of those YouTube compilations that's like jumping off trampolines, doing front flips, trying to shoot the ball. That's what Klay Thompson is. But like going back to the defense, it's a different personnel. Like what do you think they're going to bounce back from?
It's definitely a different personnel, but I've actually sat back and watched these games, and for Warriors fans, this is why Warriors fans aren't really tripping, because certain things are constants in these losses, right? Like Steph Curry going for 30-plus in each loss. Curry's been balling. Draymond Green, since the season has started, Draymond's been balling. For somebody that just punched his teammate in the face and is looking to get a contract extension and or just stay along with this team for the next 3 to 4 years after, Draymond's been playing like pretty well defensively, leading the charge. The only issue is that another thing, too, I will say this. Draymond has also been driving in more. He's averaging, I think, 10 a game, or at least he was. It might have went down in the slump, but he was averaging like 10 a game on 60+% shooting from the field, which for Draymond Green is like incredible. He shot 1 3. He made 1 3 out of 4, so he's been kind of shooting like he's been watching his shooting and things of that manner. But it's like it's a different Green. He's just going out there and he's getting involved. You can tell he's trying to win. Another problem that I see with this team is that like the last game, the Splash Brothers go nuclear in the first half, right? Everybody's watching them. If they're going shot for shot, matching each other. And then as soon as the bench unit gets out there, everything crumbles. And I will say this, one person that does deserve a little bit of the blame is Jordan Poole. And I say a little bit because he only takes a little bit of it, because the other young guys are deserving some of the blame too. James Wiseman has looked extremely scared out there on the glass. I saw this one time from DeAndre Ayton, I believe, and I think it was actually in the finals against Giannis in that infamous Game 6. DeAndre Ayton got absolutely eaten alive by Giannis Antetokounmpo. And you could tell when there are certain guys where it's like, yes, they may have all this individual young talent, they may be skilled, but you have to have that mentality about you that's, I'm 7 feet. I'm going to go out here and average double-digit rebounds. I'm going to go out here and be ferocious in the paint. Not everybody has that killer instinct like Giannis does, where he's able to use his body and use his size and just inflict fear amongst his opponents whilst being dominant. James Wiseman's only like 21. So we're giving him some leeway here. But that's the biggest thing that I've been noticing, is that when the veterans, when Steph and Clay, and even Wiggs has had his slumps too. But these guys just got paid, so I know that they're trying to just find their rhythm. I'm not sweating it. I think that the biggest thing is for them, blowing leads is one thing, and defense is the next thing. Defense is the essential. You can have the best offense in the game, and if your defense is terrible, it won't amount to anything. Just ask the Brooklyn Nets. That's my take, though.
I'm gonna say this about what Z said. I'm going to agree and disagree at what you said. I do agree with the point that you brought up, where it's like, you know, they throughout their losses, it's not like random things that happen throughout the game where they're like, they just look completely different from the game before. You're right, it is consistent. Like they have been a very consistent team in terms of what they're doing each game. It's not like one game it's like Klay Thompson plays amazing and Steph has this big old slump, or Draymond just decides to fall off a cliff and doesn't do anything defensively. You're right. Like everybody's doing not what they're supposed to be doing, because some guys aren't, obviously, because it's not translating to winning basketball, but everybody's doing what we've been seeing this whole season and kind of like what they've been showing. But to me, Z, that's not something to be okay with. That's not something to be like, that's why I'm not worried. To me, that's why I would be worried as a Warriors fan, because if you're going to consistently play like losing basketball, something needs to change. You don't want to be consistent when you're losing. You don't want to know that you're going to consistently see 30 plus from Steph and it be worth nothing. I will say this. I don't think the Warriors are going to continue this slump. They'll still be in the playoffs. They're still a good team. I don't see them as a contender just because of how much stronger the league is now. But, you know, I could be proven wrong. I didn't see them as a contender last year either. Who am I to judge them, right? But I will say this. I think a big issue with the Warriors is some of their loss of some of their role players, Gary Payton II and Otto Porter, for example. No, they're not the best guys on the team, obviously, but I feel like the Warriors had this mindset where it's been a couple of seasons since they brought in guys like Jordan Poole, Moses Moody, the Cum Bucket, James Wiseman, all these guys, and they expected them to take that leap to be like, you guys are going to start playing like NBA players on a consistent basis. We're going to see some production out of these guys, right? Like they expected them to fill the roles that Gary and Otto Porter filled, and that's why they let dudes like that walk. We haven't seen the young guys fill the roles yet, and that's the issue. We've seen Jordan Poole put on the flashiest highlights. You go on Instagram, you look at Jordan Poole, he looks like he's balling. The stat sheet doesn't say that. Sometimes he has some bad shot selection. Sometimes he's not making the shots when he's supposed to. He's making some bad decisions out there. Moses Moody, what the hell has excuse my language, what is Moses Moody doing? He was supposed to come in. Moses Moody was supposed to be one of the better players that the Warriors brought in as a young guy. What is James Wiseman doing? James Wiseman has had plenty of time to rehab. He's had a whole season out. He's played for the G League team. He's slowly been brought back in. He's had his time to like settle in, get limited minutes. Now it's like, you should be playing good basketball. You are a big man. We got you with the second draft pick, the second overall pick in the draft. Sorry. Yeah. And it's like, bro, you're not playing like I said. Like, to me, the Warriors drafted a bust. That's what it's looking like right now. Because we've given him all this time, and I'm still going to give him more time. I'm not labeling him a bust. Don't think that. But he's playing like a bust right now, and he shouldn't be. He's had enough time to rehab. He's had enough time to get back in the mix. To be honest, I didn't really like James Wiseman at the second pick, because the year he came in, if you guys remember, he was injured the whole year at Memphis. He barely played. Or not injured. They didn't let him play because Penny Hardaway paid for his house or something. Like, they didn't even let the guy play his full season. So they took a chance at a very raw prospect, and that chance isn't paying off.
And what's crazy is, obviously, it's a completely different fit. But you look at the third pick, LaMelo, and what he's doing. Like, could you imagine with Steph and Clay at the 2 and 3 and LaMelo running the point? That would be the most filthy offense I've seen in my life. And obviously, LaMelo, it's different, but Wiseman should be playing. I feel like most of this blame should be on Wiseman as opposed to, Kuminga and Moody they're supposed to be playing better. But Wiseman's supposed to be the catalyst that keeps this dynasty chugging, which is the reason why they're trying to go into the luxury tax to pay everyone. They want to keep Curry and Clay and Draymond and Wiggins and Poole because they think, I'm sorry, not Poole, but they think Poole and this new generation can propel them to a much larger window. When the older guys close out, the new guys rise, so they have this contending mindset for years to come. But if the new guys aren't gonna step up, then the old guys are just gonna fizzle out. You could see already the one game they sat against the Pelicans, they had to sit Curry, Clay, Draymond, and I think Wiggins sat too. Just for the sake of load management, because they're getting old. Steph has to run around more than almost any other NBA player in the league. So there's going to come a time, I think it's really coming soon, where these young guys have to play up to their namesake, and if they don't, it's gonna lead to some disappointing seasons because the league is too stacked for them to not perform and not get a high seed.
That last point you made about them being too stacked, that's another point too I want to get back to. Kasani said the same thing. That's where the only amount of anxiety and fear, I guess, would lie into that, because like we said, the West is still stacked. It's been stacked for 15 years at this point, but teams are on the rise. So I think that it's going to take guys like Steph, I'm talking about those player development leaders, guys like Steph, guys like Andre Iguodala, guys like Draymond, to tell these young guys hey, you're up next and we're getting old. Like you just said, Steph is running around more than anybody in the league at the age of damn near 34 or damn near 35. And he's still running around off screens and getting picked up in triple teamed half court. So Jordan Poole is going to have to take the reins away from him and handle that offense. What I've noticed with the Warriors is when Steph and Clay and Andrew and those guys are out and they put in JP and have him running that bench unit, he just hasn't done a good job with it. There's been possessions where JP will just take it himself and will go for some sort of crazy highlight. How did he just do that play? And you'll be looking at guys like Moody, who's averaging, I believe, over 30% from three, which is bad, obviously, but he's shooting 3 a game. He's 1 for 3, so he's about roughly 34%. But I'm looking at him, and the shots that he's getting is those last second shots from JP isolating and doing his thing and trying to get inside and then realizing he has to kick it out to things like that. And then with Wiseman, my biggest thing with him is I've watched him since he walked into this league, and I've seen Draymond Green and Andre Iguodala and Steve Kerr all talk highly about him in the media, and enough for me to look at him and be like, okay, I can see the potential, yeah. But when you're out there on the court and you're playing for the Golden State Warriors, and the guy that you're watching is Draymond Green, a Hall of Fame level defensive talent, and arguably the greatest defender for this team in this team's history. If I'm watching that, I would think to myself, I would have to go about this a little bit more seriously, when I'm getting on the court. Not to mention the fact that your team's 3-7, buddy. This dynasty is 3-7. So I just feel like the Warriors are going to have to keep getting punched in the mouth. How many more times are they going to have to get punched in the mouth by the Pistons or the Hornets? Or which losses are you going to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, damn, we're the defending champions? That's what I'm waiting for. And yeah.
Not only that, just to add on to your little record rant, they're the only defending NBA champions to start 0-6 on the road. And it's not just losing to the Magic; it's the only 2 wins the Magic. It's not like the Magic have had a spurty run. The only 2 wins the Magic got this season, the same Magic that just lost to the Sacramento Kings, were to the Warriors.
Yo, that Sacramento disrespect gotta stop. They're nice.
What's their record? What's their record off the top of your head? Who? Sacramento.
They're 3-5.
They're 3-5.
Better than
the
Golden
Thunder
State.
are better.
Better than Golden State.
They have the same amount of wins as Golden State. They just got 2 less L's.
Right.
They got 2 less L's. And if De'Aaron Fox, beautiful player. The reason I hate Sacramento so much, I'll tell you guys now, is because I want De'Aaron Fox out of that team. I think De'Aaron Fox was my favorite rookie going into the 2017 season, and that Kings team has made him so underappreciated. I think De'Aaron Fox is a top 10 point guard in this league, and some people don't think that. And I think if he's on a better team, if he's on a contending team, the media attention goes to him. He's a beautiful basketball player. He hit a great game winner. If De'Aaron Fox doesn't hit a damn near half court shot, the Kings are 2-6 to start the season. The Lakers are 2-7, just to give you an idea of how bad that is. Okay, so don't give me no Kings. Don't disrespect the Kings.
I'm with them. I'm 100% with them.
They're on They're
They
on
don't.
an
They don't
upward
deserve to be in
spiral.
California.
They
They're
don't.
not on
They
an
don't
upward
deserve
spiral.
to California. You know
They're
that.
not.
You know they don't
They're
deserve
not
to
on
be
an
there.
whoa! Upward spiral? They traded Tyrese Halliburton for DeMontis.
I
Sabonis.
agree that was awful.
That is
but
the
I
opposite of an upward spiral.
I agree that was awful, but I love the Keegan Murray pick. They don't have rim
Sure.
protection. If they get some rim
Sure.
protection, I think they'd be a decent basketball team. But the last thing on the Warriors subject that I want to talk about is drafting Wiseman into the Warriors' current system is interesting because obviously they've had bigs that are rim protectors that clog the paint like JaVale McGee, Zaza, Andrew Bogut, and Kevon Looney that kind of just sit down there and are not utilized in the offense. James Wiseman, if there's the only dynamic center on the Warriors aside from maybe like Boogie that I could remember. So I think plugging Poole...
Boogie was injured too.
So this is really the first dynamic center. Plugging him and the other young guys into the Warrior system might not be the best idea because if Jordan Poole is trying to run and gun, he is not as mature as... I mean, Klay doesn't look very mature right now, but as mature as Steph Curry to take, clean shots, and this whole... Warriors style of play may not be suited for James Wiseman. So maybe it's different. I'm talking like if you're trying to make this team win now with their young guys, it's different for young guys on the Nuggets, for example. That one guy, Christian Brown, I think it is, some shooter from Kansas, like he fits right into that Jokic system because with Jokic, he gets the ball in the high post, he's going to hit a cutter, he's going to hit a three, and the Nuggets are cooking. All he's got to do is sit there and shoot. The Warriors, it's a little different because they got to replicate the whole Steph and Klay gravity thing. And Jordan Poole, while he's great, he's not there. And the center, they have to learn how to use him. I think it's going to be a really good Steve Kerr prove it year because he has to make some adjustments for the young guys. But I'm saying with these other systems where the young guys can plug right in, it's going to be different for the Warriors. I'd love to see how that plays out.
Do you think?
You know what I think the Warriors need to do, and it's going to be the first time we'll ever see the Warriors do it. Make some big moves before the trade deadline.
That's what I was about to say.
When you see the Warriors, you usually see them. They kind of they might make a trade here and there, but they never make any eye-popping trades during the season. They kind of stick with what they have because when you have Klay Thompson, Steph, and then when Draymond and KD were in their prime, put Sean Livingston on the court, and I'll take my fifth option is a Sean Livingston mid-range. We're gonna score 140 points a game. Right? You don't really need to make any trades and Steve Kerr, I feel like as a coach has never really been tested in terms of this isn't working out, we need to change something. Because don't tell me that COVID season where it was only Steph, everybody was injured. That's not they need to make adjustments to the team. They need to wait for the team to heal. Steve Kerr knew that when the next season came, they're back to being a playoff team. Why is he worried? Now it's bro, you have all these pieces and it's not working. You drafted Wiseman, it's not working. And to me, it's interesting with the Wiseman thing because I don't see any other way that they can benefit or see them using the second pick on Wiseman as a W unless Wiseman works out because his trade value is nothing right now.
Right,
I don't see any team offering too big of a package for Wiseman. At best, they might get I can't even think of what I would give up for Wiseman right now, especially a piece that contributes to winning because they want to win. They don't want to tank. They don't want to
highly protected first.
It's what are you really gonna get for James Wiseman, right? So to me right now, the only way that Wiseman pick I can see it as a good pick is if he starts doing something soon. I'll tell you this, and Z, I'll tell you this straight to you. Hoop, moderate again. I'm gonna give Klay Thompson the benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna count him out yet. I think he's in a slump right now. And I think he's playing terribly right now, and I voice that. But I think there's a chance that Klay Thompson comes back, and I'm going to give him time. I'm not going to stress with Klay Thompson. I have no stress in terms of counting him out. I am stressing about James Wiseman. I am very stressed about James Wiseman because he has had all the time in the world. Mm-hmm. And it's bro, when are you going to start turning up?
I feel that.
If James Wiseman doesn't start turning up very, very, very soon, the Warriors are in a very bad spot because if they lose their next 3 games, they're 3-10. They're on a 5-game losing streak. If that turns to an 8-game losing streak, they might have dug themselves a hole that the best thing is a low-seeded playoff or a play-in.
You can imagine a schedule down the stretch, where you have to play the Nuggets on a Tuesday, you got to go play the Suns on a Friday, then the Grizzlies,
all teams that
then
are
the Mavs, then the Pelicans, then the Clippers, then the Wolves, then the Thunder, then there's a lot of
even
teams.
the Thunder. Yeah, mention the Thunder.
I'm saying
it's
a tough. There's no easy win. Aside from the Rockets, there's not a lot of easy wins.
Exactly. Like I wouldn't like the Warriors when they played the Lakers on opening night. They looked amazing. If they played the Lakers right now, it would be a much harder game. I'm not saying they would lose, but it would be a much harder game for them to play. Russell Westbrook is starting to.
Well, the Lakers
spot.
have been in most games they've played in because
they lose in the end because of LeBron James' decision making down the stretch and like them not being able to play good offense. But the Thunder, for example, like the Warriors, like you said, Z, they're known for blowing leads, and the Thunder are known from coming back from leads. Like I don't see them beating the Thunder right now.
Right.
That's how bad the Warriors are.
I'm with you. I'm with you right there. I'm with you. Every game, the last like 3 games, I've gone in and just been like, well, I'm gonna judge it after the first quarter. And usually, I know that's kind of bad for some people to say, but I'm like, with the Warriors, it's kind of the first quarter is the tone setter for these dudes. Like, and then you get to the third quarter, and it's like that's like the final tone setter. If the third quarter ain't clicking, if we're 5 minutes into the third quarter and the Warriors aren't clicking, it's going to be an interesting game. There's about to be a thriller, like a down to the wire thriller that somebody messes up something, or they're just going to straight blow it, and then you're going to be sitting there left jaw dropped wondering what happened. But this has been the road trip from hell from the Warriors. I have not seen the Warriors take a road trip since I was in 8th grade. I have not seen these guys have a stretch as bad as this. As a matter of fact, in high school, we used to see on Instagram all the time, the Warriors have never lost 3 straight. The Warriors, like when they were dating them back to the 96 Bulls, back when they were 73-9, they haven't lost 2 straight. They haven't lost 3 straight. Now, how many have they lost straight, Sandy? 4, 5?
5, and they're 0-5, and they're 0-6 on the road, bro.
5 straight 0-6 on the road. You mean to tell me that going into this season, if somebody had told me that the Warriors would go into Detroit and Charlotte and Orlando,
you would laugh.
Right, you would laugh. You would laugh. And then you look at these games and you got Cole Anthony going crazy, Cade's doing his thing. Like anybody is looking like an all-star going up against the Warriors in the strip.
You know what's wild?
Yeah.
You know what's wild, bro? Jalen Suggs really made a TikTok on the court right after the game with his sister talking about and it was like daddy's home, like that TikTok.
Insane.
And I was like, damn, the Warriors are in a bad spot.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Damn.
I mean, we gotta move on. Because the headlines were just gonna be the Lakers lost to the Cavs today, 114-100. Russ had a bunch of turnovers, but he went 19-10, 3 3-pointers. But we just wanted to talk about the Lakers and the outlook of the league. Like, if I could just say first, going back to Suggs and the Magic, Bol is playing quality basketball. Paolo Banchero is averaging the most points we've seen from a rookie in a while. I think it's 23. He is up next.
I think he's gonna average in the low 20s for sure.
No, but he is the total package for a player. Wendell Carter looks like a piece. They still have Jonathan Isaac, who hasn't played basketball in like 5 years.
Bro,
with
the
upside.
last time he played was in the bubble, right?
I don't know, but he has
bubble.
upside. But now I told before the season when we were doing these outlooks, what did I say about the Magic? They're missing the playmaker. If Jalen Suggs is turning up as a point guard, like him and Cole Anthony working this little guard magic, some perimeter shot creation and all that, like I'm not saying it's this year or next year, but they're gonna be cold, bro. Jalen Suggs has the dog.
Before we move on, you know who makes the Magic a contender right now? Jameer Nelson. Let's move on. Move on. What do you know about Jameer Nelson? What do you know about Magic Jameer Nelson?
What is this, 2013?
2009.
Hey, no, like 2009.
2009.
Even 2013, bro. Even 2013 is too early.
Bro.
2009, bro.
That Magic team, that 09
Jameer
Magic
Nelson,
team.
I will always remember him for
I thought he was on the Magic for a minute.
Taking somebody's soul and then airballing right after. That is the most cold clip in NBA history. Just the worst ankle breaker I've ever seen done to a human being, and then he just airballed.
I don't think that's the worst ankle breaker. The worst ankle breaker I've ever seen was Kevin Durant and my man, what's his name? Daniel Gafford? What's his name?
But he made the shot. The shot.
I'm gonna say this right now. I just want to say this. I know this is the podcast.
Jameer Nelson didn't even hit the rim.
James Harden didn't James Harden do like 3 straight times at the beginning of this season? He crossed somebody and missed every single shot.
He kept breaking.
Who's the one? The first one was an air ball. That's what I was like. I remember when he crossed him. I was like,
first one, bro. It was on Marcus Smart. It was on the defensive player of the year.
I was like, when he did it, as soon as the cross
All right,
hit.
let's go to the draft.
I'm gonna say this one thing. As soon as James Harden crossed him and he fell, I was like, Harden's back. Then he airballs and I'm like, never mind. But keep going.
Yeah, I sit back. I'm like, yeah, he's averaging 22 now, and he's out for a month. Makes sense.
Right. Love you, James.
So there's been a variety of ankle breakers so far in the season. I'm surprised we haven't seen more highlight dunks with this take foul rule.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Anthony Edwards dunk once.
I saw that, and before we get into the draft, like I've been thinking about it. I made a video on how bad Cat is defensively on fours. This team would be so much better for the future if they got rid of Cat. I genuinely believe that.
Trade Karl Anthony Towns for, imagine this. Karl Anthony Towns for Zach LaVine and Patrick Williams. Who says no?
Does he fit with... I get the trade.
Patrick Williams is the 4 that they need, and then Zach Williams is the shooting guard.
Cat and
or
Vooch
the
is
small forward.
nasty. Cat and Vooch is nasty.
Yeah, but the Bulls would build around Karl Anthony Towns. They get a new young superstar, and then you get Zach LaVine and Patrick Williams. That's a good pick. That's a good pickup, bro. That fills in exactly what the Timberwolves need.
All I'm saying is I would want to see Ant and McDaniels get more time, and Ant with the ball in his hands more, with Rudy down low as the rim protector.
D'Angelo Russell is bad this season.
Like, if they could just get some sort of playmaker who's not who doesn't need the ball in his hands, and then Ant is that guy who's like, I think that's how you're going to get the most out of him. I don't know what you'd get back for Cat or what the situation would be, but I think that would be the best way to maximize. I really
like that Bulls trade. I really like that Bulls trade.
I don't know. Bulls fans
they would
think about
obviously throw
having
in draft
Cat
picks.
and Vooch in offense.
Well,
that would be a cool offense. But on defense,
the Bulls,
they'd be
the Bulls aren't
matador.
the Bulls aren't gonna win with the roster they have now. So rebuild.
I
and
agree.
Bring in new pieces.
I just don't think.
There you go.
I just don't think Cat's the guy. Especially, you
Or
want to build around
DeMar.
Patrick Williams.
No, not build around Patrick Williams. Build around Anthony Edwards, and you have think about this 5-man lineup real quick before we finish.
Wait.
Think about this 5-man lineup.
You're talking about the Bulls getting Ant?
No, I'm talking about the Bulls getting
He's talking
Cat.
about the Bulls.
No, I'm saying why would the Bulls trade away Pat Williams to get Cat?
Because they build around Karl Anthony Towns.
No.
They redo the whole team because the team doesn't work.
You're not building around Cat at
team
this
doesn't work.
point. Because Cat is not a
He's
top
26.
10 player.
He's 26. He's 26, and the Chicago Bulls have no other hope. I'm getting a player in free agency, and the only way they're gonna get a player at that caliber is if they trade. Let's be honest.
Who's gonna want to come to Chicago?
market
Who's
team.
gonna want to come to Chicago?
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm just low on Cat, but
Here's the thing.
I think you are low on Cat. I think you're heavy on,
I am not
come on.
on-
Like he's not the
he
best.
has no dog. He has no
ain't
dog.
got no
in him.
damn
He's
dog.
a-
He ain't got no dog.
He's like
He's a
He is
cat.
straight
like
pussy
Pat
boots.
Bev.
Pussy boots.
Pat Bev is like ruff ruff ruff, and then Karl Anthony
Puss in
Towns like.
boots. Literally Puss in Boots. Cat is a big ass Puss in Boots.
I
Nah,
feel
Puss in
bad
Boots is
'cause-
tough. I would rather, bro. If somebody had a Puss in Boots mentality, they'd be crazy.
Oh no. Let's just move
Bro.
on.
All right, let's go. Let's
I'm
move
not
on
high
to the
on
draft. Let's move on to the draft.
those
Let's move on
shooting
to the draft.
centers who can't defend. But this next segment is called Draft of the Decade because we're using decades in an all-time draft. We're gonna have the draft order is Saney, me, and then Z. 6-man lineup, starters plus 6-man, but you have to have one player from each decade on your team. This is 70s forward, so you have to have a 70s player, 80s player, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and current. I got this from another podcast. Shout out. What's it called?
You forgot the
Panel.
podcast?
That's where I saw it. That's where I saw it. It was really cool.
Listen, I got this from
But,
another podcast. Shout out the podcast.
But for example, like if Saney has the first pick, let's just say he picks Michael Jordan. He'd have to pick whether it's 80s or 90s MJ. And once that player is picked, he can't be picked in another era. Also, when he has a 90s player, he can't pick another 90s player. So by the end of the draft, we're each going to have a player from each decade loading up our team. And then by the end, we'll compare, we'll scream at each other for a couple minutes, and you guys let us know in the comments if you're on YouTube who has the best team. Newsflash, it's going to be me. I have to be confident going into this thing.
Who has first pick? Let's run it. I'm picking
Saney
best
is the
player of all
first
time.
pick. We're doing Snake. I have the second pick. Z has the third.
You said we're assuming peak at their in that decade, right?
Correct. So like you're gonna say
So,
the,
like, the
the
best
decade,
version
but
of
the
that
best
player in
version
that
of that
decade.
player in that decade. Yes.
The greatest NBA player of all time is 2018 LeBron James. So give me 10s LeBron James as my first pick.
10s LeBron. All right, I'm gonna write all this down.
All right, bet.
LeBron 10s. I was not expecting to get him at the second pick, but let me go 90s Michael.
Oh, you suck. Oh, you suck.
What do you know? If you really thought he was falling to the third pick, that is nasty.
Oh.
Well, 2018 LeBron is not a bad pick to take over Michael.
Yeah, but he's not falling to 3.
All right, well, give me 2010 Steph.
Z has 2 picks.
Give me 2010 Steph to start.
2010 Steph.
And then
It's a weird pick.
That is a true Warriors fan.
it is. I gotta get my
No,
point
it's not.
guard.
And then I think and then
After I get this,
Oh wait, yeah, it's
Right,
super
right.
Yeah, it's super tight.
And then let me get
Yeah,
let me get 2000s Tim Duncan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Big,
Big fundamentals. Big fundamentals.
Okay, go.
All right. I'm taking him now because the 70s are gonna get ugly later. Give me 70s Kareem.
You guys are crazy. I've been sitting here waiting for you guys to pick him. You guys are actually insane. Give me
Okay.
2000 Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay. Dang.
The 2000 Shaquille O'Neal is, other than free throws, one of the best players of all time.
Other than free
And then I
throws. Wait,
I get another-
Z, you took 10s dunk. Oh, you took
2000s Duncan, yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yes.
So I
Sandy,
got
you have another.
10s LeBron and 2000 Shaq. I do agree with Hoop that the 70s are going to get ugly, but I mean, there's two other good players in the 70s, so I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to go to the 80s. And for my point guard, give me 80s Magic Johnson. My team is looking
80s
nice.
Magic. All right. Yeah, I got to take my 80s player now. Give me Larry. 80s Larry.
Solid pick.
I love my team.
I want.
Y'all are going to get the scraps
So wait,
of the 70s.
didn't I hear that we can pick up players from different eras that played in other eras, right? That was in the rules.
No, but you only get the best version of that player in that
All
era.
right. I
So
feel
like,
you.
if you chose 2000s Michael, you get 2003.
All right, give me
Michael
80s
and the
MJ.
Wizards. Like,
Give me
that's not a good
80s
player.
MJ as my 2.
No, I already
No,
have
you
MJ.
can't. He already has Michael
But
Jordan.
you
can't
said
take
from
Michael
different
Jordan.
eras.
You take him.
Once the player is picked, you can't take him again.
Oh, okay,
No, once the player is taken,
From
can't
any
take
era.
him
Okay,
again.
that makes sense. Got you. All right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, give me we're going back to the 70s, so this is kind of interesting. I will take 70s Pistol Pete Maravich. I just feel like
I like that
Steph
pick.
and
As a
Pistol
70s
Pete.
player, I
Steph
like
and
that
Pistol
pick.
Pete. I don't know.
Nah, if y'all took Kareem, I was gonna go that way because I think he's built
Yeah,
for
me
today's
too.
game, but he plays zero defense.
For sure.
Zero defense.
For
It's a
sure.
team defense game. That's how we're looking at it. He's good. All right, and then I got another one, right?
All
That's
right,
another one.
You got another pick.
All right. Oh my God, this one's tough.
Yes,
This
sir.
one's tough. Give me. Oof. Give me a 90s Charles Barkley. Let me get Chuck. Come on, Chuck. Be my power forward. Hey man, he could get every rebounds. We need
Right,
some
we got-
enforcers. Hey, best player on the dream team? Question
Charles
mark. He
Barkley.
was. Look at the stats. We need some comedy on this team. I want Charles Barkley to punch Steph in the face.
You guys gotta. Hey, remember to go by
Yeah,
position.
yeah,
Don't
yeah,
just
yeah.
draft a bunch of big guys. Like it has
I
to
mean,
make
you
sense
could
together.
also have a sixth.
Yeah, and I need a small forward now, so we're chilling.
All right, I already have the old guys, so I could go a little fun. I have 90s, 80s, 70s. I can go. I have so many options. Ooh, I love this. I gotta be careful. I don't know if you guys want to provide commentary while I look for my pick.
Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
I can't pass him up. Give me Kobe. 2000s Kobe. What the heck?
That's what I was gonna go for 2010s Kobe. Yeah.
I don't care about no
Psych.
fit. Give me Kobe and MJ.
Psych! You guys forgot, didn't you? You guys forgot. Give me. I get 2 picks back to back, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna pick my shooting guard is gonna be last, so I'm gonna get these 2 picks. Give me 2010 Kevin Durant. 2010's Kevin Durant.
Yep.
And for my 6th pick, should I go for him at 6? I feel like you guys are really forgetting about him, and you guys already both have your 90s players, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna save it then. I'm gonna go 70s. I'm stuck between two players. Thing is, I looked at his stats. Give me 70s Elgin Baylor because he was still
Oh,
good in the
God.
he was still good in 1970. He was still good in 1970.
Okay.
He was averaging 25 in 1970. So I'm taking that version, right? And he was still an all-star, whatever. And then I know my last pick, so
Just
you
so
guys go.
Saney's player, his shooting guard, was in the army at the same time as he's playing in the league.
Okay, he's still a
So
bucket.
we can't
He's
use
still a bucket.
2020s, can we?
Kareem.
He
We
shot-
can, yeah. You got a
actually,
current player. You got a current player.
His most efficient player was 1970. Thank God, he shot 49% from the field.
I got my
That's a great
pick. I got
That's a great pick.
my mine that's gonna fill out my starting lineup.
All right,
What's up?
so I have at the moment MJ, Kobe, Larry Bird, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I gotta look for. I don't have a true point. I gotta go tens and current to fill out my roster. For my power forward or point guard, what should I do? I'll go current Luka Doncic for my
Thank
point
God.
guard.
Thank God. So I can finally fill out mine.
I was gonna do that pick.
So as I said, wait, is it mine? It's mine, right?
This is your pick. You have two.
Okay. So I get to do my final of my starting lineup and my sixth man. Ugh. We can't pick two players from the same decade, right? So how's the sixth man gonna work?
No.
Because I already got. This is gonna be my.
Well, it's 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s.
Okay,
that's five,
okay,
and
I
then
got you, I
current
got
is
you.
six.
So all right. So for my next pick, I would like to have to fill out my starting lineup, because I have Steph Curry at the 1, Pistol Pete at the 2, Charles Barkley at the 4, Tim Duncan at the 5. So I need that 3 spot. I think I'm gonna go with give me current Giannis Antetokounmpo as my small forward, my starting small forward. And before you all be like, oh my God, he's a power forward, shut your mouths. He's a small forward today on ZZ Honcho's team. Now, after that, let us all take a moment to pause for the Honorable ZZ Honcho as he takes the honorable sip.
By the way, Hoop, sorry, I just realized I picked 2 players from 2010s. You can just change Kevin Durant to current Kevin Durant.
Oh, did I? I didn't even pick up on that.
I put 2. I accidentally chose. I just realized I was like,
Wait,
wait,
what? Which Durant you want?
I'll take current. He's still crazy. He still averages 30 points a game.
20.
He's averaging 31 a game right now. He's a bucket.
So I need y'all to help me through this, please. I got 2010 Steph, 70s Pistol Pete.
I'm
No.
not helping you. I'm not
I need to
helping
figure
you.
out what decade I haven't picked yet. 2010 Steph, 70s Pistol Pete.
Oh, I
Help
got
me out.
you. You have 70. You need 80s. You need
That's
80s.
what I need.
And Magic and Bird are
Right.
taken.
Thanks. Off the bench. That's crazy. All right, give me Isaiah Thomas off the bench. 80s IT, bad boy Piston.
I still think your team is nasty as in a horrible fit because you don't have a wing, but I'll leave that
I
up
got
to you.
2. I got the greatest shooter of all time at the 1, and I got Pistol Pete at the 2, and I'm gonna let Giannis do whatever he want.
I said you don't have a wing. I said you don't have a wing.
I don't need a wing. I got Giannis. He can do whatever he wants.
Whatever, let's just finish. Let's just finish up this draft. You're playing the other.
No, you're
greatest
trying to
people of all
doubt. What you're
time,
trying to do
so
is gaslight me right now. We whooping that. We whooping your team. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. All right.
All right, so I have Luka at the point. I have Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Kobe, Kareem. So I really need either a wing or a true 4 because I could play Larry at the 4 potentially. And I need a 10s player. That'll be some fun. All right, my options. I got Kawhi Leonard. I could do prime Anthony Davis. I could do Paul George. I could go for an MVP caliber Blake Griffin, Draymond Green potentially. Who fits that role?
Russell Westbrook.
Derrick
I need a
Rose.
wing. I'm gonna go
Ty Lawson.
Emmanuel Mudiay.
George Hill. Emmanuel Mudiay was so tough when he played.
He had that one shot. That was all I remembered him for in Denver. Was that one little half-court shot?
Give me Kawhi. Give me Kawhi
Mr.
Leonard. This is-
Load Management. What?
Now I thought about what Hoop said with Elgin Baylor being my shooting guard, and I was like, you know what? I was gonna take Hakeem Olajuwon as my 6th man. 90s Kareem.
If y'all took
Hakeem.
MJ, I was gonna
Yeah.
take Hakeem. If you took, I was literally gonna take Hakeem with the second pick. I feel like he was easier to build around than LeBron, but
LeBron 2010s can play with any team. He took the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2018.
no, I'm saying with other.
He can take any.
Whatever. I'm saying he's whatever. Let's go.
Um,
He needs the ball in his hand. I'd rather have people that don't need the ball in their hand.
I'm gonna take a very underrated pick. You guys didn't think about this. I guarantee you didn't. But
Ray
he's
Allen.
wearing the jersey. He's wearing the jersey. Hoop is wearing it. Give me 90s Reggie Miller.
I'm not wearing the. I'm wearing. This is
That's
Lance
actually
Stevenson,
wild.
dog.
That's
I don't know what you're
genuinely
talking
crazy.
about.
It looks like the retro. Oh, it has a Nike logo. It looks like the retro. It looks like the retro
does,
Indiana
it does.
jersey. That's why. You
Make
have the
him
retro
dance,
Indiana jersey on.
Lance.
So
Make
can
him
you,
dance,
can you
You're
take
wearing-
Lance.
you're
Lance?
wearing it-
Can you
you're
take
wearing a
Lance?
retro Indiana
Please
jersey,
take
that's why.
Lance.
I would
Take
never
Lance,
wear
Sadie.
But listen, now my team, I have move Elgin Baylor to the 6-man. I don't mind Elgin Baylor to the 6-man. He's crazy. He's still good. And give me
You have not watched a lick of Elgin Baylor film. that man's got a jumper like my grandpa.
that he puts the ball in the bucket.
Everyone puts a ball in the bucket. This is an all-time great
Everybody
draft.
puts the ball in the
I
bucket.
don't care. He puts the ball in the bucket.
All right, so let's
puts the
go
ball in the
over.
bucket.
Hold on, let's go over these teams. Starting off with the first pick in the draft, Saney. He has 80s Magic at point, 90s Reggie Miller at the 2. I'm assuming you want Durant at the 3 or LeBron at the 3. He has 10s LeBron and 20s Durant at the 3 and 4, and then prime Shaq.
2000 Shaq is the most unstoppable man of all time.
Hack a Shack.
That's definitely, you could say that. My team, I have current Luka at the point guard. Shooting guard, I have MJ. Small forward, I'd probably go, I don't know, Larry and Kawhi at the 3 and 4. You could switch and swap. And at the center, I have prime Kareem, with my 6th man being Kobe Bean Bryant. So you could even put Larry in the bench, put Kobe in there. MJ, Kobe, Larry, Kawhi, Kareem, Luka, a bunch of dogs.
A bunch
Bunch
of
of
lottery
dogs.
picks. A bunch of lottery
Ball
picks. I'm
dominant.
sitting here swimming in the bottom of it. But you understand something?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. ZZ Huncho will never be counted out, never be underestimated. Okay? Because with my team, we got.
Let me name off Z's.
You better name it
Hunter's
off
team.
the
He's
right
got
way.
Steph and Pistol Pete. At his small forward, he has Giannis Antetokounmpo. At his power forward, he has 6'4" Charles Barkley, and at center, he has Tim Duncan and 6-man Isaiah Thomas. He has
That
3
is
people
so-
that are like under 6'3".
Me and Hoop,
then-
Hoop compete with our teams.
I'm
you are getting
not.
blown
I
out.
ain't sweating.
Baylor
I'm not
is
sweating. Let me tell you
getting
something.
mopped.
Y'all don't understand.
Reggie
Baylor's coming off the
Miller.
bench, bro.
Reggie Miller is not checking MJ or Kobe. I could put him in for
He
either. I don't
literally
even
did.
care.
Reggie Miller has before.
I am
Reggie Miller has
Reggie-
before.
you tried to
Michael
compare
Jordan
Reggie
in the
Miller.
documentary.
Oh
Michael
my
Jordan in the
gosh.
documentary said that Reggie Miller gave him a problem. He said Reggie Miller.
You
was
know
a
who gave
problem.
LeBron
Michael
James a
Jordan said
problem?
that at a
Kawhi
time.
Leonard.
Who?
Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, you want to know who gave
Kawhi
Kawhi Leonard a
Leonard.
problem?
Go
You
look
want
at
to know
the
who
prime
gave Kawhi
Kawhi
Leonard a
Leonard.
problem? Zaza Pachulia.
No, we didn't.
Zaza Pachulia.
No, we didn't.
No.
Greg Popovich.
LeBron did not get a problem
bench-
with Kawhi. I'm pulling up his stats.
the
right
bench
now. I'm pulling up his
itself.
stats right now. I hate the stigma around Kawhi Leonard locking down LeBron James. He didn't. Hold up, wait.
Pull up the stats.
2014,
You really want me to
28
look up?
points.
Talk about
You
Kawhi
really
Leonard.
want me to look up
points per game.
MJ stats against the Pacers?
LeBron,
You want me to do that? You want me to do that?
averaged.
You want me
LeBron
to do that?
averaged. LeBron averaged 28.2, 7.8 rebounds, and 4 assists. That's
You
not
know what
locking
happens?
up anything.
You know
Kawhi
what
Leonard
happens
didn't
when he
lock
gets in
up
the paint?
anything.
He's got to
Kawhi
face
Leonard
prime
didn't lock up
Kareem.
anything.
He's got to face prime Kareem. He's going to have MJ, Larry, Kobe on the perimeter. Get down there, prime
You want
Kareem.
to know what?
waiting.
You want to know what?
I dare you to come in the paint with Shaquille
You want to know
O'Neal. I
somebody
dare
who
you to
wasn't
come in the
afraid
paint
to,
with
fight
Shaquille O'Neal
fight
from
Shaquille O'Neal from the
2000, bro.
2000s? Charles Barkley would have gave him a 2-piece and a biscuit. Stop playing with him. Tim Duncan in the paint, chilling.
Oh, by the way. LeBron James shot 57.1% from the field and 51.9% from the three when
Preach.
Kawhi was guarding him in the finals. Don't tell
But
me that
which
Kawhi
Kawhi is
Leonard
this?
locked
Which
down
Kawhi
LeBron
is this
James.
again?
He didn't.
Which
I
Kawhi
hate
is
that
this again?
stigma.
Unmute yourself.
This is 10's Kawhi.
See,
We
I'm
could
gonna
say
say-
Raptors Kawhi. I'm not talking about the 13 points per game.
Raptors
Kawhi Leonard.
Raptors
I'm talking
Kawhi-
about the
Raptors Kawhi
I'm talking
isn't
about the
as good of a
Finals
defender as he
MVP.
was in the
The
Spurs.
Finals MVP.
Raptors Kawhi isn't as good of a defender as he
Lockdown.
was on the Spurs.
Lockdown.
Raptors Kawhi is more offensive than defense. Raptors Kawhi is not as good defensively.
Well, he doesn't
as
need the
was on
ball.
Spurs.
He doesn't need the ball. Because MJ's going to have the ball. Luka's going to have the ball. Kawhi's going to lock down.
Okay.
Shoot some
Kevin
threes.
Durant doesn't need the ball. LeBron James
needs the ball.
James is ball
LeBron
dominant.
James and Magic on the same team is
Johnson. LeBron
nasty.
James and Magic
Magic
Johnson.
is not a
LeBron James and
spot-up
Magic
shooter.
Johnson.
All the guys on my team can shoot threes. All the guys on my team can shoot threes.
LeBron James 2010s is shooting 51.9%.
let me be
from the
real.
three.
I'm
Don't
gonna be
talk to
real
me.
for a
Don't
second
talk to me.
with everybody. Okay. So out of everybody's team here, I'm pretty sure that if you looked at the team on paper, mine would probably be the worst team. However, I will say this. My team was specifically assembled to have a little bit of fun. I'm predicting, Giannis driving in, attracting defenses, kicking it out to Pistol Pete, kicking it out to light skinned Jesus. But I'm also predicting if kicking it out to Charles Barkley. And if anybody got something bad to say about Charles Barkley, he would literally curb stomp them. Like that's what we got Charles Barkley for. Charles Barkley is there.
I wish he would.
Charles Barkley is there specifically because we know we're going into these games fighting the devil. We know we're probably gonna lose. But if anybody get out of line, Charles Barkley is either
gonna eat him.
Krispy Kreme two-piece him or eat them. One of the two. We need some sort of respect, and that's why we got the enforcer like Chuck. That's why we got Chuck. Everybody want to be like Chuck. That's why we got Chuck. Stop playing with Chuck. But these other two, I don't know who could win between y'all's teams.
I personally think I have the best team. I personally think I win.
I just think, from a talent perspective, I think I clear. I think the only way Reggie and Elgin Baylor compared to my two worst players. That's what Kawhi and Luka. I have MJ, Larry, Kareem, Kobe. That is disgusting.
Shaquille O'Neal,
Elgin
LeBron
Baylor,
James, Kevin Durant, and
Elgin Baylor is going to be called out to duty by halftime. Oh, sorry guys, got to put on my uniform. I'm going to go fight for America.
I'm going to go fight for the ship, and then I'm going to go fight for my country. That's a real man.
Shut up. All I'm saying is that you put this team in 2K, we're going to see what happens, man.
That was a lot of fun.
I can't do that for mine because Charles Barkley didn't give his rights.
I would love
We'll do that.
We'll
do that.
I'm going to swap out Charles Barkley.
I think that's all we have for today,
I hope so.
Right?
It's 8:30. I got a paper to do.
Do we have anything else lined up for today?
Yeah,
all right,
that's all we had for today.
I mean, this was a fun episode. We talked about the Warriors. We had a little fun draft. This was fun. This
25.
Episode 25?
I got.
Jeez, we are flying through the episodes, man. I believe it's 25, right? Yeah, because last one was 24.
25.
So
for D Rose.
This was a fun episode, guys. This was a great episode. My team clears, but I mean, Spotify listeners, you're not going to be able to comment. If you're on YouTube and you made it this far, make sure to comment.
You would have never talked this
wins.
highly of Elgin Baylor if he was not drafted to your basketball team. You would
Elgin
never
Baylor,
have talked that highly of Elgin Baylor. He's facing off with Kobe Bean Bryant off the bench.
Next episode, I want to do a draft.
Kobe Bryant has the
and
most
LeBron has the
misses
most
in NBA
turnovers,
history.
but hey, stuff happens. Nonetheless, I will say this for the next episode, for next draft that we do, can we please do like some sort of like menace draft? Like I want to draft like the most menacing players from each decade, and I want to.
Yes, we should do 5.
I want Draymond Green and Dennis Rodman on the same team with Chuck, with Isaiah at the helm. Like I need all of that. I need Chuck Daly as my coach.
No, you know what we could do? We could do a draft, but with the goal of the game being who could foul out first.
I'm taking Rasheed Wallace first pick because technical fouls count. Ejections count.
All right, that'll be hilarious.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up though. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on episode 26. Peace.